You probably think CIA agents have some secret memory formula, cinnamon gum, hypnosis, some theta wave trick while they sleep. Wrong. In March 2025, the CIA published something wild in its own official journal. They admitted they never trained their analysts to remember things better. Then one man ran an experiment that changed everything. This is his story, straight from the CIA's own document. Let's start with the confession itself. Cody Hare, a senior analyst at U.S. Special Operations Command, wrote an article published in the CIA's own journal, Studies in Intelligence. He said intelligence analysts' entire job runs on memory. Every report, every briefing, every question from a policymaker, all of it depends on what an analyst can recall. But here's the twist. Top universities, tech companies, and special operations units all test and train people's memory. The CIA? It didn't. Analysts were trained to avoid cognitive biases, but nobody ever trained them to actually improve their memory. One line from the document says it best: analysts do not learn how to learn, meaning all the knowledge they gained on the job, they were never taught how to fully use it. So Cody Hare decided to test it himself. He gathered 30 people, graduate students at the National Intelligence University, federal employees, and active members of the intelligence community, ages 26 to 43, with an average age of 33. He split them into two groups, one the memory training group and the other a control group, given no training at all. Everyone got a sheet with 15 actors paired with 15 actions, like a fake intelligence report, and they had just 5 minutes to memorize it. Then came a 5-minute break, no talking, no notes allowed. After that, they had to write down the entire sequence from memory, and 1 week later, with no warning, they were tested again. A total pop quiz. Here's the hook. The training group only got 1 hour of instruction covering just 3 techniques. The first technique is elaborative encoding. The idea is simple. Take boring, abstract information and turn it into a vivid, emotional mental image. Our brains evolved to remember predators, food, and relationships, not passwords or random facts. So the trick is to turn a boring fact into a weird, emotional, or funny mental scene, and your brain grabs onto it automatically. The second technique is called the major system, a French method for memorizing long numbers, invented by Aimé Paris back in 1798. Every number gets turned into a phonetic sound. Those sounds are combined into a word, and that word becomes a vivid mental image. This is the exact trick memory champions use to recite thousands of digits of pi. The third technique is the memory palace, the oldest and arguably most powerful memory technique in existence. You picture a place you know well, like your house or your old school, and everything you need to remember gets mentally placed somewhere in that space. To recall it later, you just mentally walk through that place, and everything is right where you left it. This technique is so old that from ancient Greece all the way to 19th century American classrooms, students learned world history this exact way, by walking through an imaginary temple of time. Now the real question: did it actually work? The training group scored 45% higher than the control group. 1 week later, the training group remembered 57% more information, and the training group was 5 times more likely to get a perfect score. One more interesting detail: people who already had some prior experience with memory techniques scored 18% higher than everyone else, whether they were in the training group or not. Statistically, these results were so strong that the odds of it being random chance were almost zero, but there was a surprising finding too. Hare assumed more years of experience in higher education would mean better memory performance. The result? It made no difference at all. The one thing that did make a difference was age. Participants 34 and older scored 21% lower, regardless of whether they were in the training group or the control group. There was also a small weakness discovered. The training group made more near-miss errors, like remembering jump instead of hop. That happens because when your brain decodes a mental image back into words, sometimes the meaning slips a little. So what's the final verdict? 96% of participants said the CIA should give this training to everyone. And here's the best part: this wasn't some expensive setup, just 1 hour. A short video, a few slides, a whiteboard, no cinnamon gum, no hypnosis, no secret machine, just 3 techniques, thousands of years old, that doubled people's retention in a single hour. If trained CIA analysts can see this kind of difference in just 1 hour, imagine what these 3 techniques could do for your next exam.